First impressions on the Saucony Endorphin Speeds. Before we go through my thoughts and opinions, we're going to be going through the specifications. So the Speeds come in at 7.8 ounces in a men's UK size 8, which is a US 9. That's 221 grams. So I definitely consider them a light shoe, considering the fact that they've got 33mm stack height in the heel, with an 8mm drop to a 25mm stack height in the forefoot. So in the midsole we've got Power Run PB foam, which is a PEBA based foam with a full length nylon plate. So these shoes come part of a 3-shoe lineup from Saucony. So first you have the Endorphin Shifts, which are the daily trainer shoe made for the bulk of your miles. You've got the Endorphin Pros, which are made for racing to compete with your Alphafly Next Percents, your Adios Pros. And then you've got the Endorphin Speeds, which are made for fast-paced training and long runs. So the first run that I took the Endorphin Speeds on was a 16km long run. I averaged about 4:13 per kilometre. I was really happy with this run, especially considering that my training had been patchy in the last couple of weeks due to a small illness that I got over Christmas. So this run gave me a lot of confidence. I was really happy with how the Speeds performed. The upper is a comfortable and breathable lightweight mesh. The neon laces add to the stylish look of the shoe. It's definitely one of my favourite looking running shoes that I've ever had. So now moving on to the back of the shoe. There's a decent amount of padding in the heel and the tongue, which definitely adds to the comfort of the shoe when you put your foot in. Even though it does add weight, it definitely is a positive thing as it adds a lot of comfort and definitely helps keep your foot locked down. So far this padding has helped me to feel no heel slippage whatsoever. Even towards the end of my long run, it definitely still felt very comfortable and I found no issues with the padding. So at the back of the shoe we've got these plastic heel shavings and plastic heel cup. To be honest, I don't really know what they're there for. They're a bit pointless, they add a bit of weight, and to be honest, I think Saucony could have done without them. So that is the only small drawback of a very good upper, so I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. So now we're going to move on to the midsole of the shoe. So what we've got here is we've got a full-length Power Run PB foam with a nylon plate. The Power Run PB foam is a PEBA-based foam and it's definitely very responsive during your runs. The nylon plate combines with this foam to add some energy return to the responsiveness that the foam provides. You can definitely feel the shoe propelling you forward as your foot leaves the floor. As you can see, the nylon plate is definitely not as rigid as the carbon plate, but it definitely still provides a great deal of energy return and is definitely good for the Endorphin Speed's price. On my first run in these shoes, I did run a few easy kilometres as well as a few fast kilometres, and I was surprised to say that the Endorphin Speeds definitely can cope with those easier paced runs as well. They were extremely forgiving and provided a great deal of comfort. And when I reach the faster paces, the shoe only gets better. Taking all of this into consideration, I'm going to give the shoe a 9 out of 10 rating for midsole. This is definitely the best midsole I've ever ran on as a runner. Last but not least, we're going to move on to the outsole. As you can see here, there is a lot of exposed foam, but I would say that there is enough outsole rubber for protection and grip where you need it. This rubber seems relatively sturdy and I can see it lasting in excess of 400 miles. To be honest, I would say that Saucony have definitely nailed the perfect amount of outsole on the shoe. There definitely isn't too much that would weigh you down, but there's just enough to provide the amount of stability and support that you need. In terms of ground contact, the outsole felt fine. I had no problems running on slippery roads and mud. It's definitely a smooth contact with the floor and there isn't any excess slapping or anything as you hit the floor. The outsole definitely does its job. It's another 9 out of 10 for outsole. Saucony have really nailed all 3 categories for this shoe so far. Now on to the 4th and final category, value. The Endorphin Speeds come in at £155 in the UK and I think $160 in the US. This price was very surprising for some runners. Saucony have definitely made a very affordable shoe here that can compete with the highest level shoes on the market at the moment. It could even compete with shoes up to ranges of £50 to £100 more expensive than it. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for value. With all 4 categories considered, our initial review of the Saucony Endorphin Speed has scored 37 out of 40. I think the score is a fantastic score, and to be honest, I think this score won't really be beaten in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this initial review of the Saucony Endorphin Speeds. There's a 100-mile review coming soon, stay tuned for that. And feel free to leave any suggestions and ideas in the comment section below, and make sure to like and subscribe.